Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another breakdown video. The team that we're going to be taking an in-depth look at today is our 2024 Colorado Buffaloes football team. They're in a new conference this year. They are in the Big 12. They have a lot of media spotlight attention on them. They've been working the portal hard. Can they win the Big 12? Can they compete in their new conference? They're definitely talented enough. We are going to do a complete breakdown of this team, preview their entire roster, see what pieces they lost from last year's team, what pieces they are adding to the 2024 team, but also look over their entire 2024 football schedule, seeing which games we think they're going to win, lose, and trying to see if we can predict their final record for the season. The college football season is just around the corner. We are down to our final off week. We almost have kickoff. It's almost back. Thankfully, go ahead, hit that like button, and subscribe. If you have any comments, drop them below, and I will respond. So our 2024 Colorado Buffaloes. This is probably the most polarizing team in all of college football. You either like them or you hate them. Everyone has different reasons. I don't know if it's because of Deion Sanders or what, but they're extremely polarizing, and it's not necessarily their fault. I mean, they do like the primetime lights. They do like all of the media that comes along with them, Fox Sports being there every Saturday, putting them on the big game. But it is a fact that this is one of the most polarizing teams, but that's exciting because it gives us something to watch, gives us something to root for. This team obviously came out of nowhere last season. They hired Deion Sanders as the head coach. Vegas is predicting them at 5.5 wins this season. So let's be honest, Vegas is not predicting them to do very well in their new conference, the Big 12, this season. They've added a lot of pieces. Obviously, last season, I think they brought in like 70 transfers. I think they brought in 50-something this year. So they're completely flipping over the rosters. Their biggest issue last season was the offensive line was a complete joke, and the defense was a worse joke. They've brought in a lot of linemen to shore up the passing game, buy Shedeur Sanders some time, but also help try to open up some gaps to the run game. They've brought in a lot of defensive line players. So they've brought in a lot of talent. Can that live up? Coach Deion Sanders, second year, they went from one win. They had a great season last season. They didn't make a bowl game, but they took big strides forward. You either love it or you hate it, but this team has a lot of talent. Main question is, can they get to a bowl game this year? This is the final hurrah for Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter. So they're losing their two best players. So if there was a season for them to compete, this is the season. Can they get to a bowl game this year? Colorado, they want to silence a lot of people that have been mocking them the whole offseason for how things ended last year. Now, a bowl game would be great, but it would still be a letdown. This is a team that wants to compete in the Big 12. They don't just want to get 6 wins, get a bowl. They want to compete for the conference championship and a potential playoff spot. Shedeur Sanders lit it up last season. He's looking like a first-round quarterback, but it looks like he was sacked in 1 second every single snap last year. Sacked 45 times, the most sacked quarterback in all of college football. We need that offensive line to get better so that he can continue to perform at that Heisman level. They've worked on the line. So the offensive line, Jordan Seaton has come in. He's going to be a big deal to help kind of bolster and solidify the offensive line, keep it from being a complete disaster. Offensive coordinator, Pat Schumer, he's going to be the offensive coordinator now from the jump this season, so it should be a lot more balanced. Last season was very pass-heavy, but it looks like they're going to pass the ball, but they also need to get that run game going because it was a bad joke last season. Schumer, like we said, he's going to keep it balanced. Colorado's defense gave up 35 points a game last season. That is god-awful. That's pathetic. It can't get much worse, so it has to get better, and they brought in a lot of talent to make sure that happens. And obviously, you have Travis Hunter there. He's going to be playing 2 ways, but he's going to help solidify that secondary. They also have Okinola, Green, Wiggins, so they're bringing in some good players. And the defensive coordinator, Robert Kingston, he's coming over from the NFL, so he's going to help put those pieces in the position to succeed. But let's take a look at their 2024 schedule. They kick things off Saturday, August 31st versus North Dakota State. This is FCS, but this is literally the best FCS team there is. This team plays Power 4 teams extremely competitively. It's not a walkthrough, but I'm going to go with Colorado winning this one. They better not lose this game to an FCS. If there was an FCS to lose to, it's North Dakota State. But let's be real. This is a Power 4 team. They should have more talent. They should be faster than them. They should be bigger than them. They're going to beat North Dakota State. I'm going to say it's going to be like a 33-24 game. They start out 1-0. Saturday, September 7th at Nebraska. They're going to Nebraska this season. Colorado beat Nebraska pretty well last year, but I think this is a new Nebraska team. Obviously, they have a 5-star quarterback coming in. You have Matt Rule, a very accomplished coach, a NFL caliber coach. He's coming in. They had a top 20 defense last season. That whole defense is back. So we know they're going to have a top 20 defense this season. So they have that to rely on. The big question is, can they score more than 20 points a game? That's what held them back last season. I think they're going to be better, not that better, but they'll be like a 27 point per game offense this season. I have them beating Colorado. They are at Nebraska. I think Nebraska is going to roll this season. Not roll as in playoffs, but they're going to get 7 or 8 wins this year and continue building up. I have them beating Colorado in a closer one, 27-24. Colorado's 1-1. Saturday, September 14th at Colorado State. I don't think this game is going to be as close as it was last season. Not a double overtime game. I have Colorado blowing out Colorado State 40-24, and they're 2-1. Saturday, September 21st versus Baylor. Dave Aranda, he's on the hot seat, has not utilized the talent they have there in Texas. He's probably going to get fired either during the season or at the end of the season. Colorado should be able to beat them. Let's put it at a 37-24 game. Colorado's 3-1. Saturday, September 28th at UCF. Do not sleep on UCF. Do not mock them because they've come over to the Big 12. This is a very talented team. You have Gus Malzahn. You have KJ Jefferson. You have a 1,500 returning running back. They can run. They can throw. Their defense is questionable, but their offense should be able to compete with a lot of these Big 12 teams. This game's almost a 50-50. I would not in any way be surprised if Colorado wins this one, but I'm going to go out on a ledge, and I'm actually going to go with UCF to get the win here to beat Colorado 30-28. Colorado's 3-2. But like I said, if Colorado won, I would not be surprised. Then after that, Saturday, October 12th versus Kansas State. Kansas State is basically the standard bearer for the Big 12 now with Texas and Oklahoma gone. They've won over 10 games the last 2 seasons. Very talented team. They did lose Howard to Ohio State, but they're bringing in Avery Johnson, who is their highest recruited quarterback ever. They have a very deep running back room. They have a deep wide receiver core. They have a top 40 defense. But this team has been in this scheme for a little while. They're very developed. They're very experienced. They have a experienced offensive line. I have Kansas State getting the win here versus Colorado, 33-24, and Colorado's 3-3. After that, Saturday, October 19th at Arizona. Arizona, very talented team, obviously with the quarterback coming back, with their first-round wide receiver coming back. But Jet Fish is off to Washington as the head coach. They're bringing over a new coach, new scheme. I think Colorado's going to be able to catch them off guard. But, if Arizona won this, I wouldn't be surprised either. They did win 10 games last season. They could be a potential 9 or 10 win team this season. They could be ranked here. But I have Colorado getting the win in a lower scoring one, 27-24. Colorado's 4-3. Saturday, October 26th versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a team that can run the ball very well. Outside of that, they really don't have much going for them. Colorado should be able to beat them 35-27. And they're, 5-3. Then Saturday, November 9th at Texas Tech. This was a game I was really hung up on. I've kind of flip-flopped back and forth. Texas Tech, you have a 1,500-yard running back. You have a very experienced offense. They were pretty banged up last season. McGuire can coach. Good team. Defense is average. They should be able to have a shootout with a lot of these Big 12 teams. But I'm going to go with Colorado getting the win at Texas Tech in a shootout. 40-36, Colorado wins. They're 6-3. And then Saturday, November 16th versus Utah. I think Utah is going to come into the Big 12 and enact their physicality. Colorado is used to that. They did play in the Big 12, but Cam Rising's back. That's the big kicker here. They're going to have a top 20 defense. They're going to be physical at the line of scrimmage, and they're experienced. A lot of these guys have been on this team for 3 and 4 years. It's not a new scheme. Utah is going to win this one. To me, it's going to be a 30-18 18 game, and Colorado is 6-4. The Saturday, November 23rd at Kansas. Kansas is just like Kansas State. They have Neal, they have Daniels, they have experienced quarterback, running back, a 1,300-yard rushing running back. They have a top 40 defense also. If Daniels stays healthy here, I have them beating Colorado, let's say 33-27, and Colorado is 6-5. They finished the season Friday, November 29th versus Oklahoma State. This is one, just like the Texas Tech game, it's practically 50-50 to me. I would not in any way be surprised if Colorado wins this game. Oklahoma State has an experienced offensive line. You have Gordon at the running back position, who's the best running back in the entire country. Doak Award winner. He's probably going to win it again this year if he stays healthy. They're going to put everything on him. So this is going to test Colorado's defense. How improved is their defense and their defensive line from last season? I think Oklahoma State's going to win it. Oklahoma State might win the Big 12. It could be them. I mean, there's a lot of Big 12 teams that could potentially win the Big 12. It's a very rounded conference. But I have Oklahoma State getting the win on the road versus Colorado in a shootout. 37-34. Colorado finishes the regular season 6-6. So that's my breakdown of our 2024 Colorado Buffaloes. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe. If you have any comments, drop them below and I will respond. I do have Colorado getting a bowl game this season. I do have them as a very talented team. It's just I think a lot of the other teams are very experienced guys in this system for a little while. Hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks.